Hi everyone, Amy here from Transforma Ingbrook Yoga, and I'm here with our A to Z series. And I'm on to the letter S, and it took me a long time to really come back on here and talk about, get on to our next letter, because I just had so many things that I was thinking about. But then today it came to me, and I just wanted to talk about self. And self in the terms of the word that precedes other words, such as self-love. And it is extremely important to have self-love for yourself. And that means loving yourself and accepting yourself, even the imperfections that you have. Loving all of your strengths, your natural abilities, all the great things about yourself. And then also loving and accepting the parts of you that maybe aren't as strong as other parts of you. And like I said, the imperfections. And then that goes right along with self-compassion. And self-compassion is being kind and understanding towards oneself, right? It means being accepting and not having hard words towards yourself. And that is, I know, sometimes very hard. We can be self-critical. But even during difficult times, having self-compassion. You know, we talk about having compassion for everybody else, but it's really important to have compassion for ourselves and accept that we are humans and we have all sorts of things that we've been exposed to through our lives, and we have emotions, and we have, traumas and things like that that really affect us. So have compassion, even in times when you're feeling that you were, maybe not at your best. For example, the other night I came home, I was on sensory overload. I had done way too much in the day, and then, wrapped it up with another activity, and I came home and I was like a pressure cooker ready to explode. And I really, I could feel my sharpness. I was very sharp and very edgy and very irritable, to be honest with you. And I had to really pause. And then when I paused enough to realize how I was like behaving, I had to have a little bit of compassion with myself and be like, you know what, that just happened. And I recognize why it happened. I didn't take care of myself throughout the day enough, and I overdid it, and there was sensory overload. And I know for somebody like me, it's just like I've got to pump the brakes and cool the fire. And then that goes right into my next thing, self-care. How are you taking care of yourself? Taking care of the physical, the emotional, the mental bodies, and the well-being of who you are. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, then we're depleting ourselves or burning ourselves out. Or in my case, the other night, I was sensory overload and I was not in a good space, and I had to just pause, get myself grounded, take some breaths, and recognize that, backpedal a little bit, and I needed to take care of myself. I needed to give to myself. And then, self-improvement. With all that being said, working to become a better version of yourself. How can you work to become a better version of yourself? What are you doing every single day or week to improve your health, improve where you're going, on your personal journey with your career, how you are as a parent, if you are a parent, as a partner, if you are a partner. How are you improving yourself, or are you just continuing to loop through your patterns, and you're not cultivating self-care to improve yourself? And then it's having self-respect, having a positive outlook of who you are, and that leads right into self-esteem and having the confidence and self-esteem because you've been doing all the other things: self-love, self-compassion, self-care, self-improvement, self-respect. It leads to good, positive self-esteem. So remember to take care of yourself. It's not being selfish. In fact, maybe it is a little bit being selfish, but it's in a way that's cultivating a better version of yourself and being selfless as well. Being on both, having that balance of being not all about yourself, but also being enough about yourself where you're cultivating a good, healthy self-esteem and self-love. So I hope this helps, and I'll be on to the next letter, whenever I get there. Bye.